The things we would implement as cornerstones to increase wealth in Haiti would first allow the right to own private property. Owning private property gives the people incentive and a desire to work. With the private property, people can use their things in any way they desire. And with that desire to work, people can create businesses that will give others the opportunity to work and to provide for their families. The difference between private and public property is the fact that public property is owned and cared for by the government, whereas private property is exclusively owned by an individual or a group of people. Having the right to property creates a sense of independence and freedom, ultimately resulting in a happier way of life.
Because villages are too small and nations are too large, what we would do for our second thing to implement in Haiti would be to have charter cities. And by doing this, it would create wealth little by little rather than trying to implement so many things all across Haiti. The first thing that we would make sure that Haiti has is good rules for the charter city so that businesses would be likely to come into the city and want to do trade. Some of the other rules that we would have is that the people would set the prices and not the government. When the government would set the prices, that would cause a lot of other problems and more people would be poor because of it. Another thing that we would make sure is that the taxes would be low for those that are starting businesses. We wouldn't want people to be deterred from starting a business for something that they see that they're really good at just because the taxes are too high, and we'd make sure that the government is not corrupt so that they would likely be able to start their business. We would make sure that leaders of the countries would be partners, specifically like the United States. We would want them to be partners because they're close, and the United States is already established as a wealthy nation. And then another thing we would do is to continue to make more charter cities, because the more that we would make, they would just trade within one another and then continue to accumulate wealth.
A free market is when the government does not intervene or regulate with the prices of goods and services. This system allows the open market to determine the prices of goods and services. In other words, the law of supply and demand naturally sets the price of labor. A community is allowed to sell their goods according to the demand that the people are wanting. Then they sell those goods at the highest price the consumers are willing to pay. This generates motivation in the culture as well as competition between companies.
Go.
In order for Haiti to grow economically, it would be good to increase their education levels. On average, the enrollment rate of primary school children is 80%, while in secondary schools it is only 20%. If we were able to help Haiti grow their enrollment rate of secondary schools, we'd be able to help them economically and culturally. They would learn the skills of working hard and being independent and problem solving. This would help them economically because they'd be able to be prepared for jobs and also helping others. And also culturally, they would learn to not rely on others for what they need, but learn to work and get what they need on their own.
Okay, so specialization is a strategy. Specialization is a strategy developed by business to focus on the production of a very limited range of products and services in order to gain maximum productivity, expertise, and leadership in the targeted field. The specialization for Haiti would be farming and apparel making, which makes up 90% of their exports. But even with that, 60% of their people still stay under the poverty line, and their employment still also stays on the low side. Many farmers focus on farming such as plantains, bananas, corn, yams, sweet potatoes, and rice, and coffee. But with natural disasters ruining their crops, their economy cannot grow. Other factors that affect that would be poverty, corruption, low levels of education, and poor infrastructure that cause any potential growth for the economy to be detained. And so the people of Haiti cannot gain any more economic growth because every year natural disasters, especially hurricanes, ruin the crops that they use to make money.